There's a thing that happens on a rushed Tuesday morning. I want you to picture with me. You've got a kid asking where his other shoe is. The coffee's going cold, and you pull a tub of spreadable butter out of the fridge and scoop some onto a warm pan. And instead of melting into a clean gold pool the way real butter does, it sort of breaks. Water weeps out one side. A greasy little film of oil slides off the other. Or here's the gentler version, the one you never noticed was a clue. You scooped it straight from the cold fridge, and it went on soft and easy, and you thought, oh, how nice, so convenient. Hold on to that moment. Because the easy cold scoop was the tell. It was trying to tell you something the whole time. I'm Penny. I'm a mom of two, and I'm the one holding up the line in the dairy aisle, flipping the tub over to read the back, while my youngest asks for the fifth time if we can please go. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a chef. I'm the mom who got burned one too many times buying butter that turned out not to be butter and started turning every package over before it went in the cart. That's the whole resume. And here's the part I love. You don't have to trust me on a single word. Everything I'm about to say is printed right on the package or sitting in the public record where anyone can pull it up. I'll name 5 brands and tell you exactly why. Then you go flip the tub over and check me. I put together a little one-page label cheat sheet you can take to the store, and the link's below if you want it. But the video gives you everything free either way. No pressure. So let me hand you the one tool that makes all of this make sense. The thing you'll keep long after you've forgotten every brand name I say. Real butter is hard when it comes out of the cold. That's just what good milk fat does. So any butter that's soft and spreadable straight from the fridge has had something done to it to keep it that way. And that something nearly every time is oil pressed from a seed in a factory and mixed into your butter. The cold is the test. If it spreads cold, flip it over and read it, because there's oil in there. Say it with me once so it sticks. Spreads cold, read the label. Now let's read a few together. Worst first. I'm starting with the biggest name of all. Number 1, Land O'Lakes. The most familiar face in the American fridge, 100 years of trust, farmer owned. And I'll be fair, their plain stick butter is honest butter, and I won't tar the whole company. It's the tub I want you to look hard at. The one called butter with canola oil. The one that goes on soft from the cold. Read their own label on their own website tonight. It lists sweet cream, then canola oil, then salt. So you reached for the most trusted name in American butter and carried home a tub that's part butter and part oil. And if you reach for their light version instead, buckle up. That one reads water first, then canola oil, then food starch, maltodextrin, emulsifiers, lactic acid, potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, natural flavor, xanthan gum, and a coloring added back in to make it look like butter again after the butter's been thinned out of it. My verdict. The bigger the name, the more trust there is to spend, and the more a company can quietly get away with spending it. That's why this one goes first. Number 2, Challenge. A trusted Western brand, churning since 1911, 100% real butter on the front. Again, the plain stick is honest, cream and salt, no quarrel. But the spreadable tub lists pasteurized cream, then canola oil, then salt. And Challenge is not even hiding it. They will tell you right out it spreads silky smooth even when it is cold. Like, that is the selling point. Fine. But you walked to the dairy case for butter, the clean animal fat, and you are carrying home a blend. And the blend is cheaper to make. You are paying butter money for it. That is the trade they are hoping you will not clock on a busy morning. Number 3. And this one's going to sting because it's the fancy one. Kerrygold, the gold foil, the Irish grass-fed cows, the brand you reach for thinking you're finally doing it right. And hear me, their gold foil block butter is genuinely good butter, and I'll not say a word against it. But Kerrygold also makes a spreadable tub, and people see that trusted gold name and grab it without turning it over. So turn it over. It's Kerrygold Irish butter blended with rapeseed oil. Rapeseed is just the older name for canola, the same plant dressed up to sound nicer. And here's what got me. Their own label calls it a 3/4 fat blend, 60% fat, 40% milk fat, 20% rapeseed oil. Keep that 60% in your pocket, because in a minute I'll show you why it matters more than anything else on this list. My verdict isn't that Kerrygold is wicked. It's that the fancy name on the front is no protection. Only the back of the tub tells the truth. And here it says blend. If you're already mentally walking to your fridge to go check what's hiding in there, do me a favor and hit subscribe, because right after this I'll show you the 2 I actually put in my own cart, plus 1 free trick that means you never pay for spreadable butter again. Number 4 isn't really one brand, it's a whole shelf. The tubs with the cozy country names and the soft farmhouse pictures sitting right next to the real butter, like a friendly cousin. Country Crock and its cousins. These crossed all the way over. Country Crock Original is labeled a vegetable oil spread, not butter, and when you flip it, the very first ingredient is purified water, then soybean oil, then palm kernel and palm oil, then salt, lecithin, vinegar, flavors, color, 0 dairy in it. By law, it cannot even call itself butter, and we'll get to why in a second. My verdict, and I say this with 0 shame because half the country was raised on this and told it was the healthy choice. It was never butter. It's oil whipped with water and colored yellow. Don't throw it out today. Just flip it over once, read the first 3 words. Water, oil, oil, and decide for yourself with your eyes open. Number 5 isn't a name you'll spot on your shelf, and that's exactly what makes it worth knowing. It's called Bunge. You've probably never bought a package with that name on the front, but you may well have eaten what they make, because they're one of the big industrial outfits that packs and supplies for other people's labels, restaurants, bakeries, the back end of the food world you never see. In last July, in 2025, Bunge had to pull more than 64,000 pounds of a European-style butter blend off the market. 64,000. The FDA raised it to what they call a Class 2 recall. And the reason, listen, because this tells you everything. The label had left milk off the ingredient list. Milk in a butter left clean off. Now, to most of us, that sounds almost funny, like forgetting to mention water's wet. But it is not funny, because there are millions of people with a true milk allergy, and for them, an undeclared bit of milk is a trip to the emergency room. My verdict, this wasn't a little family creamery having a bad day. This was a global outfit, and a recall like that is just a form to file. When a thing's made that big and that fast and that far from any pair of hands that cares, the simplest truth gets lost. So there's your 5. 4 of them are the same trick, soft from the cold because there's oil mixed in. The 5th just shows you how careless the giants get when food's made that big and that far away. Now the rule underneath all of it, the bow on the whole thing. There's a law for what can even call itself butter. It has to be at least 80% fat. Below that line, it legally is not butter anymore. It becomes a spread, a blend, one of those soft words. Remember Kerrygold's tub at 60%. That's why it can't just say butter. And here's the part nobody at the store says out loud. 80% is the floor, not the goal. Good butter runs higher. But the floor is the game these big outfits play. They live as close to it as they can crawl. Pull out every 0.5% of fat, swap in water or air or cheap oil, and keep the tub the same size at the same price, sometimes higher. The old folks had a word for it. They'd say a thing was stretched. You stretch the soup with water when company shows up. The difference is when these companies stretch your butter, they don't tell you. And they surely don't drop the price. And it isn't a villain in a boardroom. Nobody planned it. It's just what happens when food gets stretched across a whole country and the cheapest choice wins at every step. And busy parents trust the front of the box. But I won't leave you with only the bad news. Let me tell you what I actually buy. First, the free thing, because it'll save you money every week you live. You do not need spreadable butter, not one bit. Take a stick of plain, honest butter, set it on the counter an hour before the meal, covered and out of the sun, and it'll be soft as anything by the time you want it. We keep a little covered crock right on the counter with a stick in it, and it spreads all day long. The food companies sold the whole country a tub of oil to solve a problem a covered dish solved for 200 years. Then the store rule, simple enough to do one-handed with a kid on your hip. Flip it over. If it reads cream and maybe salt and nothing else, that's butter. Buy it, even the humblest plain wrap stick. And if you want one I'll name out loud, since it's only fair after naming 5 to watch. Vital Farms. You'll find it in most groceries now. Flip it over and it says pasteurized cream and salt. And that's the end of the list. Pasture-raised, high butter fat, clean as it gets. It costs a little more than the cheap stick, but you're paying for butter and getting butter, which is the whole point. And the real treasure, if you can find it, is a small dairy near you that sells its own butter where a name is on the thing, because a name on a thing changes how it's made. So here's your homework right now. Mid-video, I'll wait. Go to your fridge, pull out whatever butter you've got, flip it over, and read me the ingredients in the comments. Tell me the brand and exactly what's listed. I want to see how many of you find a clean 2-ingredient stick and how many find a little surprise hiding in there. And tell me your county and whether your kitchen's got a cool cellar or a cold spot. Because if it does, you've already got everything you need to keep good butter the old way. Remember the one rule, and you'll never need me in that aisle again. Spreads cold, read the label. That's the whole secret. If you want me flipping packages over with you every week, finding the good ones and calling out the costumes, come on and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Keep a crock on the counter, friends.